Hello, my name is Morgan Mousley, and I am the St. John's Education Association Chief Negotiator. I'm here to just give you an update on what was negotiated this current session and what you will be voting to ratify on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So to give you an overview, I'll be discussing salary and benefits, a few articles that we made some major changes to, including employee working conditions, in-service, and supplements, and then there are quite a few MOUs. I wanted to give you a little bit of background on the legislation surrounding how teachers get their salary increases. Governor DeSantis wanted to raise starting teacher pay to $47,500 in the state of Florida, and so he started giving districts what's called the Teacher Salary Increase Allocation, also known as the TSIA. This was an amount of money that was given to each district based on various factors in order to help them get to the ultimate number of $47,500 as the base pay for teachers. In 2020-2021, St. Johns County was able to raise the starting teacher salary to $45,535. I do want to note that prior to this, the starting teacher salary in St. Johns County was $39,000. So this ended up compressing the salary schedule in terms of teachers with years of experience, because teachers with 14 years of experience were making $45,535, and now teachers with 0 to 14 years of experience were all making $45,535. That following year, 21-22, the starting salary was raised to $47,500. This was DeSantis's goal for every district to get to. Again, still compressed the salary schedule because now we included teachers with 15 years of experience being at the base pay. In the 22-23 school year, we raised the starting salary to $48,209. Again, there were stipulations aside from performance pay and using most of the money in order to increase the base salaries. Any money that we gave a grandfathered person on the salary schedule, we had to give 75% of that amount to the base pay. So it, again, compressed the salary schedule even more. So again, in the last 3 years, we've had restrictions on pay for performance and making sure that we raise the starting teacher salary. The pay for performance restrictions were that highly effective teachers had to get at least 25% more than effective and grandfathered teachers. This year, restrictions were loosened a little bit so that we could pay more experienced teachers more, and we did not have to raise the starting salary since we were already at $47,500. We also only had to have a small performance pay feature in our proposal, and we overwhelmingly have heard from teachers that they feel like teachers with more experience should be getting a higher amount since the base pay has been raised so much in the past 3 years, and they also wanted performance pay to be much less of a factor in their salary increase. Which I did also want to note that it is no longer called the TSIA, it is called the Classroom Teacher and Other Instructional Personnel Salary Increase, which is a mouthful, so we're going to continue to refer to it as the TSIA. So here is the total package that was negotiated in salaries this year. The total amount that our salary increases are going to cost is just under $5.6 million. The amount that was given to us from the state was around $3.6 million. And so the district's total contribution to salary increases this year is around $1.2 million. We did agree to no increase to the insurance premiums. And diff pay is a pot of money of $1 million that we use as bonuses in order to attract teachers to high poverty and Title I schools, as well as hard to fill positions. So you will see a little bit of a bonus if you work at or in one of those positions. So you're wondering, what is my raise? This is for teachers who were in the district in the 2022-23 school year. All new teachers to the district agreed to where they were placed on the placement schedule when they signed their contract prior to starting this school year. So again, these raises are for teachers who were in the district last year. So if you have 1 to 5 years of experience, your retention amount is $519, and then if you were highly effective, you get an extra $100, and in your evaluation, if you were effective, you get $75. So all the way to the right, you can, in those two columns, you can see the total amounts. If you have 6 to 10 years of experience, and again, this is total teaching experience, so whether you're bringing experience into St. Johns County or all of your experience has been in St. Johns County, it does not matter. Your retention amount is $1,038, and if you were highly effective, you'll get an extra $100. If you were effective, you'll get an extra $75, and then again, all the way to the right, you can see those two amounts for the totals. If you have 11 to 15 years of teaching experience, you'll get an amount of $1,556, and if you're highly effective, you'll get an extra $100. If you're effective, you'll get an extra $75. And then if you have 16 plus years of teaching experience, you'll get an amount of $2,075. If you're highly effective, you'll get an extra $100. If you're effective or grandfathered, you will get an extra $75. And again, these amounts are all salary increases. They're not in bonuses, so you will see these reflected in every paycheck once the increases start. So now let's talk about major contract changes. You overwhelmingly told the team and I that there was never enough planning time, and so we worked on protecting your planning time, and that was done in Article 6, Employee Working Conditions. So some changes are that no more than 1 planning period per week shall be reserved for PLC collaboration, which means that the other 4 planning periods are for individual teacher planning. And then we also negotiated this into Article 6 as well as Article 10, where it originally talked about how the district could have 1 school-based in-service day for Wednesdays and 1 district-based in-service during the month. And so we got the district to agree to saying that 1 could be reserved for individual teacher planning. The 4th Wednesday would then be reserved for PLC planning or a faculty meeting that has to do with student achievement. And then if there is a 5th Wednesday in a month, the 5th Wednesday is reserved for individual teacher planning. We also heard that a lot of teachers have quite a few preps this year. So at the secondary level, if a teacher has more than 1 prep, they are only required to attend 1 PLC per week. And the district is going to make every effort not to assign a teacher more than 2 preps at the secondary level. Our flex time, the way that it was written in the contract, was not very usable time, and so we got them to be a little bit more flexible in the wording. So now you just have 120 minutes of flex time per month during non-scheduled student contact time, except on early release Wednesdays when there's professional learning scheduled. So, and then you would have to make up that flex time within 10 days of using it. We also got the district to agree that any temporary adjusted workday shall be mutually agreed upon by the principal and the employee. So let's say you need to stay an hour late for testing or some sort of parent meeting or whatever it may be, then you would flex your schedule so that you would then arrive an hour late as long as you don't have student contact time. So you would mutually agree upon that schedule with your principal. We had a few changes to Article 17, which is extra pay for extra duties, or better known as supplements. We added STEM coordinator for middle school and high school supplements and Future Farmers of America supplement. And then we made 2 updates. The ESOL reading and gifted endorsement, you used to have to work in the district for 4 continuous years in order to be able to receive one of those $500 supplements. They reduced that amount to 2 years in the district. You can only receive one of those supplements per year. So if you have all of those 3 endorsements, you would just apply for them 3 years in a row. The TAC, Schoology, and Performance Matters trainers at the larger schools get an additional trainer. That was already in the contract, but we also made it so that to ensure that both trainers also get that full supplement. So they're not splitting the supplement. They are each getting the full supplement that is put into the contract. We have quite a few MOUs this year, and there were quite a few updates made. A lot of these MOUs have been presented before and used before, but we have made some minor changes to them. The first one is the early transfer process. The process for applying is in February, so you will be able to log into AppleTrack, and there will be an early transfer process for you to do through the month of February. Then principals will take the month of March to interview any employees that they off of that early transfer list, and then April through June it would be normal procedures where if you see a position posted in AppleTrack, you would apply for it and you could take that position. And then July through October 14th used to be a no transfer period where you could not transfer to another school until October 14th. We now have in that MOU that teachers can move schools as long as you have found a replacement at your current school to take over your job, so that the students are not left with a sub in the classroom. The opening of new schools MOU is the same as it has been for many years. However, we were able to get them to agree that any teachers who did not find jobs at either the new school or their old school was getting rid of positions, that they would be guaranteed a job at another school. So they may be involuntarily transferred, however, they are guaranteed a position within the district. The class coverage MOU is the same as it was last year. However, we were able to add that all instructional personnel are included. So that's deans, guidance counselors, ILCs can get paid for covering classes as well. Please be sure to continue to keep track of when you are covering classes, because you will get paid once they figure out that process. For the hurricane day, it is the same procedure as always. You will have to fill out a form that covers the hours that you've worked to make up for that day. However, we were able to negotiate that any employee who took a sick day, many of you may have had appointments and you took a sick day and you were not able to attend that appointment, you can ask for it to be returned to your sick day bank, and then you can make up the hours using the form like everybody else. And then we also negotiated remote planning days. So your planning days on October 16th, January 4th, and March 18th can be remote, so you can work from wherever you would like on those days, or you can go to the school site. It is completely up to you. We also continued the St. John's Tech and Evelyn Hamlin and Gaines MOUs, where they will get a stipend for working at in some tough schools to encourage them to return. And that is pretty much all of the MOUs. So in summary, our focus this year was really to increase teacher morale and retention. So as a result, we negotiated for more usable flex time, more pay for more experienced teachers, and more protected planning time. So those were the big changes that we made this year. And I just wanted to thank you for all of your support this year. Ratification voting will happen Wednesday and Thursday of this week at your school sites, so make sure you are looking for an email from your SJEA reps on all that information.